Imagine if everything you have gone through, every difficulty overcome, every sense of non-belonging, a message encrypted straight from the cosmos to your soul. Maybe selected, these signals that challenge their conscience are the echo of an old prophecy, resonating more than ever inside of you. You are going to learn the biggest secret ever exposed by our channel, the awakening of the chosen, as Gabriel here is. Today, I deliver a topic that reflects the basis of your life, something your soul brought here for your intelligent listening. We will discuss the prophecy of the 144,000, a holy promise that few people see and stays a mystery for many years. But indeed, simply, you are not here by accident. Written in the scriptures, this message is meant for anyone experiencing a heavenly breath of purpose, a shift of direction. Maybe you already sense in your core that something wonderful is going to happen, and that you are partially a part of this tremendous spiritual symphony. The key in this selected beautiful movie will help you to find your waking path. Ignoring this warning would be to turn away the light searching for you. Losing this opportunity may mean ignoring a direct plea of the gods delivered to your spirit. Tell me if this subdued appeal has already resonated in your life. Share in the comments this spiritual restlessness that pushes you, and gently, by touching the symbol of rigidity, you may see that your being here is the outcome of a divine intent. As we go on, you should consider this mystery. What does it mean to you if what you experience fits the bigger picture? While the road shows itself before you, let's delve together in this powerful discovery. It becomes much more profound as the reality about to reveal might alter what you thought you knew. Imagine for a minute if all you have always felt, that constant sense of being misplaced in this world, it was not a mistake or a simple delusion, but a clear signal you belong to something vast and holy. The phenomena we discuss origin from such a deep spiritual insight that it was concealed from the majority, buried within the words of Scripture, waiting for the proper moment to expose. Few people are ready to recognize this truth, to realize that it is a spiritual reality few selected may see, rather than a theoretical concept or conjecture. Perhaps right now you find yourself asking, what does this really mean to me? Why, on my own path, do these words ring so strongly? Actually, this idea of one of the 144,000 selected is a spiritual identity that surpasses human comprehension. Choosing means including an ancient task, written in your spirit, not just bearing a load or title. This reality shows itself in your life as persistent restlessness that motivates you to search for greater significance, and an unseen but strong force, ready for something beyond the apparent horizon. You naturally oppose the illusions of the world. See yourself as a lighthouse on a stormy night, whose unwavering light comes from the belief of a more great goal. This defines the core of the phenomena of the chosen one. You have felt like a stranger how often? How often, even among the throngs, have you wondered yourself why your hunt for anything else never seems to stop? These encounters had not been in vain. They resemble the call's echo. Think now. How often have you heard this inner voice alerting you about what really counts? Reiterating that your path is not random, this emotional and spiritual connection serves as the pulse of prophecy within of you. Its spiritual development depends on an awareness of this fact, as the times we live in call for clarity and enlightenment. Ignorance of these signals results in a never-ending circle of stagnation and pain, as well as a captivity, real in darkness. Not squandering this opportunity is very vital, as waking now rests on your bravery and readiness to embrace the truth. And thus, I leave you with the importance of this knowledge. Choosing implies far more than we could possibly realize. This reality could be the turning point in our lives, the secret to unlocking doors towards actual spiritual wholeness. Prepare. In the following act of our revelation, we will intensify this metamorphosis that might perhaps alter everything you know. This phenomena of 144,000 selected calls, as profound as the sound of the stars singing in the heavens. This unique group, mentioned in Scripture as those who bring the Holy Seal on the forehead, is one that speaks to us beyond the body and shows itself in the very core of people who understand their mission. Few people can clearly understand this reality, as it calls for an intimate relationship between the human and the heavenly spirit, and transcends the surface of appearances. Consider it. Have you seen how certain events in your life appear to fit an invisible pattern, a continuous momentum pushing you towards something more? This fact shows itself in moments of spiritual enlightenment, as well as in the everyday tests of heart and character. Imagine moving through life like a river, knowing that the call of a greater ocean to which you are destined guides every bend and waterfall. We may liken it to a tree whose roots reach toward heaven and then bloom in all their splendor, deepening on earth. Your faith, intuition, and purpose are the sturdy roots of your confidence that will help you to be ready to welcome every aspect of your spiritual truth when the time to blossom arrives. The Scripture have previously shown that this indestructible energy will nurture those who seek. Now examine the consequences of either ignorance of this reality or even disregard of it. It would be like being locked in a never-ending loop, unable to reach the wholeness your soul so long craves. Those who reject the awakening travel the Lewis over the seas of life, never finding the safe harbor of purpose, like a ship without a compass. Therefore, dear selected, it emphasizes the need of knowing this spiritual truth very strongly. Realizing these facts might help one to release the restrictions on their actual expression. Remember, its essence is divine as we prepare for the next phase of our trip. So, appreciating it is just the beginning of a metamorphosis that will affect its presence everywhere. Imagine, while we go on this discovery road, that we are trialing upward on a spiritual mountain. Every stride made causes the eyesight to widen and thus expose previously unnoticed elements beneath the surface of superficiality. The phenomena of the chosen one, the one we discuss, is like a seed firmly rooted in his soul, waiting patiently for the proper moment to breach the earthly surface and start to grow. This inner process also strengthens its foundation, ready for the grandeur to arrive, much like a tree whose roots deepen before reaching light. Recall, when you pursued a vision others could not see, the times your intuition exceeded reason. Imagine a time in his life when an apparently inevitable choice brought him to a road of clarity and purpose none of his friends seemed to grasp. Think about these events and consider, does this show the expression of this old cry, rumoring beneath the seeming currents of your life? Ask yourself how this has already been steering your path, even in cases when the situation seemed to indicate differently. This metamorphosis is not just theory. It is the developing reality of individuals at last embracing their part in this cosmic dance. You are urged to see beyond appearances, just as Moses in the wilderness saw the burning bush, a vision that has changed your life and goal. This is our strong metaphor of today. Your path is full with flaming samples, hoping you would see them and pay attention to the heavenly voice in them contained, much as that biblical perspective on power and purpose discussed. But deciding to shut your eyes for this insight is like accepting a life of constant dryness, hence prolonging cycles of agony and inertia. Spiritual blindness keeps its contained nature and cannot keep on toward the actual doom it awaits. Conversely, embracing this reality with an open and wounded heart will enable your life to blossom in fresh spheres of truth and purpose, where every action will be in line with the divine call. Let me start you with a philosophical reflection. Like someone with their capacity to sense this depth, each star, every breath in the immensity of this cosmos, bears a different purpose. Consider it as the cloud rising to expose the mountain's pinnacle, enabling you to catch the magnificence before beyond grasp. Prepare. The next phase of this trip will be down to the heart of the transformative mechanisms and the procedures by which this spiritual transformation occurs. Deeper exploration of this spiritual road indicates that the road of the chosen one unfolds like a finely spun tapestry, in which every thread discloses more about its actual nature. Once so far off, the prophecy of the 144,000 selected today shows its practical and spiritual actuality step by step. Every layer we uncover helps us to see that the choice has actual potential, like a pearl gradually developing at the depths of existence. Imagine yourself in a flash of insight where prior uncertainties vanish, like mist beneath the morning light. Your quest for meaning has turned into an illuminating journey, you feel. When the truth shows up, it brightens every aspect of your life, even your most private thoughts and everyday encounters. Unlike lightning on the horizon, this illumination emerges gradually, rather than all at once, like a flower opening in its own ideal moment. Think back on the moments on this road when you turned aside the attractions of the world that so allure others. This shows itself as sympathy for others still asleep, patience in the middle of turmoil, and a strong need for personal authenticity. You know times when you appear naturally to know the next action below, and it's like a hand unseen guiding you throughout the paths of life. Think of the strong metaphor of gold being refined by fire. The chosen one, like that valuable metal, must overcome obstacles and tests that clear the doubts and uncertainties. Biblical teachings mirror this spiritual cleaning. Difficulties are quickly seen as chances for growth and development. But the rejection or opposition to this metamorphosis can trap a chosen one in a fixed dance, unable to advance. It is like staying with closed eyes before the light itself, not able to perceive its own brightness. Real satisfaction comes from realizing that every decision you make and every answer to the internal urge will advance your path even further. Therefore, selected in 𖣔READ, which between the recognition of your heavenly potential or the detention of opposition would you be ready to choose? For instance, the depth of your choice will be basic for the change waiting for you when we enter the processes we will expose below. Let us descend into the core of the spiritual systems, arranging the metamorphosis of the selected one. Imagine, if at all possible, an alchemist working on the secret of transforming ordinary metals into pure gold. Spiritual journey, thus, is an internal alchemy, a process revealed by unambiguous, divinely inspired steps toward enlightenment. The first step is waking. It is the instant the selected soul starts to vibrate with fresh knowledge. Deep questions start to show up from the depths of their consciousness as unconformed emotions with reality gain power. This stage influences the intellect with a surge of curiosity and an uncontrolled need to plunge into the future. The physical body responds with symptoms ranging from sleeplessness to abrupt dislike to what was formerly comforting, while the spirit shakes, restless. Purification comes in the second step. This is the moment when, like gold being cleansed by fire, limited beliefs and bonds that bind the chosen to worldliness burn. In actual life, this might show itself as the renunciation of old habits or the re-evaluation of relationships that no longer support the soul. The difficulties are great here, as the procedure may appear alone and demanding. Overcoming these challenges, however, with trust and wisdom, the selected one emerges from this stage with fresh clarity. Integration enters the third step. Here, the selected one starts to embrace, connect, and apply the spiritual truths she found inside herself. This is a time of great inner serenity, in which the body senses a fresh energy flowing, the intellect lines up with the heart, and the spirit finds its work. This is the time when fresh chances start to show up, doors that were closed open, and life starts to take on another significance. One outstanding illustration for this process is the account of Jesus in the desert. After 40 days of isolation, he was stronger and confronted temptations, ready for the next task. Likewise, the chosen one has to overcome his own challenges, to come fresh and ready to play his own part on our planet. Ignorance of these spiritual processes run the danger of spending a life stuck in hollow repetitions, distant from the brightness of their actual ability. Stagnation keeps them slaves in negative cycles, hence extending agony and confusion. Acting immediately is thus really vital. Time is a heavenly gift. It is up to you, selected, to embrace it and feed your soul, developing beyond your most audacious aspirations. Prepare for the following block, when we will delve even further in the indications that show you are on the correct path and how to match your life with the holy purpose the universe has shown you. Now, we shall go down to the center of the spiritual machinery, guiding the chosen's metamorphosis, like exact gears of a heavenly clock, waking the sleeping essence. This process of development involves the mind, soul, and physical body in a wonderful waking symphony, both within and outside. The so-called inner step of this procedure is the first one. Here, the heart of the selected one starts to vibrate with another frequency, like a far-off bell that at last finds resonance in his life. This summons shows itself as a spiritual restlessness, a quiet awareness that a more significant mission has to be discovered. It influences the intellect by raising profound questions, motivates the soul with an ardent search for truth, and the body responds, often with a fresh vitality, to travel new paths. Cleaning and purification come second. Old habits and ideas that no longer support the development of the selected are destroyed at this phase. Peels that fall to expose the new are among them. This may show themselves as the urge to cut off certain connections or behaviors that rob the critical vitality. Challenges arise in this stage as possibilities for purification, fire metaphors that polish gold told in the Holy Scriptures. Refusing this procedure would be like attempting to fly while carrying an anchor. Integration and growth comes in third and last place. Here, the selected one starts to live in line with his restored nature, in which the mind, body, and spirit complement the divine goal. This is a period of inner serenity, when everyday decisions mirror the awareness awakened. Now growth shows itself as a blossoming, which results in actual contacts and enrichment of their path. Ignoring these spiritual systems, on the other hand, keeps you on the margins of who you really are, feeling the call, but never answering completely. Stagnation is a rich area for uncertainty and hopelessness, confining the selected one in boring cycles. Acknowledge the need of transition, as spiritual development results from purposeful change, not from inertia. Let me ask you to consider this. It is by the fire that, while blazing, shows us who we really are, not for the comfort of the old bonds, that we discover genuine freedom. This will help you get ready for the trip. Are you ready to initiate the spiritual transformation that is the rite of birth for every one of the selected ones as we go further? See two roads ahead of you, as if destiny provided a distinct fork in the spiritual road the selected ones choose. In one of these approaches, we meet Anna, a lady who chooses to embrace her divine identity and include this truth into all spheres of her life after hearing the inner call. In the other is Luke, who experiences the same spiritual turmoil, but resists, letting doubt and fear hold him rooted in the known. Anna turns her feelings into anchors of peace and direction in accepting her mission. She sees a learning possibility and development with every obstacle. Your connections become better in everyday life as your genuineness makes others confident. Her spiritual life blossoms, and she always feels a strong connection with the divine, utilizing this power to clearly lead her goal. Lucas, on the other hand, becomes more and more unhappy and disconnected by skipping the call. Given he finds himself a victim of the circumstances, his difficulties appear unmatched. Their typically surface level and contradictory interactions mirror his opposition to spiritual development. The lack of direction becomes a strong presence, and life seems as a never-ending loop of meaningless repeats. Consider Jonah, the biblical person sent to transmit a crucial message, who first ran away from that goal. This narrative shows this duality of choice by illustrating how resistance led him to confront storms until he at last embraced his path and turned totally. Like Jonas, every selected confront the decision to embrace or reject its inner call. Now, dear selected, really consider which of these routes you are on right now. Do you find acceptance to be light or resistance to be weight? Although you are choosing to embrace this fact, keep in mind that your choices will inevitably have determining effects on the path of your life. Remember, to accept the call is to assume the pen that writes your destiny. Resist is to surrender to chance. This is the real moment where we will leave for the next block, in which we will explore how to align each action with the everlasting mission you carry. We get to the point when knowledge has to become active behavior. The disclosures we provide are facts to be experienced, not just concepts to consider. Only those are brave to go on, who are really immersed, progress on their spiritual path. Those who delay or oppose, on the other hand, stay caught in old norms, like an eagle that won't breach the wide sky. Let us then discuss 3 spiritual activities you may start right now to match your energy and open the doors of your spiritual consciousness. Practice the Thanksgiving to dawn meditation first. Start the day in peace so the morning light may touch your face. Deeply inhale and see every gift that has already bloomed in your life. Exposing will help you to express thanks in words or ideas, and it will provide serenity within your body. This not only increases its resonance, but also helps its soul to match the cosmic richness. The intentional awareness comes second. Stop before every action or choice. Breathe deeply and say, either loudly or mentally, your objective reflects your divine nature and goal. This turns everyday tasks become holy deeds and helps you to point your life in the right path. The third habit is the relationship with the surroundings. Spend at least 15 minutes of your daily stroll barefoot on the ground, feeling the breeze on your skin or the energy of the trees. This little deed strengthens your connection with creation and encourages a strong energy regeneration by resonating on the deep strings of your life. I provide a spiritual challenge to deepen this dedication. Spend 15 minutes of solitude and meditation in the following 24 hours to listen to your intuition, thereby requesting clarity on a part of your life that requires change. Note the disclosures that surface and believe them. Real transformation starts with little steps and strong goals. Only those who follow this habit start to understand the change flow. Know that it will encounter opposition. Human nature drives us to seek the comfort of the acquaintance, even when it does not benefit us longer. This little pain is a door. Crossing it opens a greater degree of waking. The great spiritual searchers vary in their ability to remain on this road. I so want to leave you with this inspiring thought. What you do with this truth will define your road from now on. One made the call. Are you willing to respond? This is the time of action and metamorphosis. Only you will be able to choose the next direction. Right now is the moment to turn knowledge into practical application. You have to experience what we communicate. It cannot stay a mirror. On their spiritual trip, only those who move and act will really advance. Those who remain stationary, delaying the unavoidable, lack the chance to develop with the learned knowledge. Now let us investigate 3 spiritual activities the selected one may start doing right now to match their energy and enhance their relationship with the divine. Though basic, these actions have great power and potential for development and metamorphosis. The first practice is the one of aligning with the goals. Find a peaceful spot, then feel comfortable and closely shut your eyes. Deeply inhale. Let the mind relax and see a golden light descending from heaven, encircling all your existence. Let this light clean your intents and fuel your purpose. Spend 10 minutes every day doing this. Let every fresh idea inspire you to remain dedicated to your spiritual path. This habit revitalizes its clarity and vitality, therefore bringing it into line with the larger cosmic goal. The second habit is the daily self-exploration. Set aside 15 minutes before bed to write about the events of the day that defined your existence. Share the times when you felt more genuine and those when you were aware of internal resistance. By means of daily revelation and self-analysis, this writing activity helps to clarify ideas and emotions. Morning thanks is the third practice, a ceremony. When you wake up, even before you get up, note 3 things for which you really owe thanks. Feel this thankfulness come through you to ready your mind and soul for the day. This technique increases your energy and draws more gifts into your life. As part of your dedication to this metamorphosis, I suggest a spiritual challenge for the next 24 hours. Choose one of the relationships in your life that needs mending or strengthening and perform a little act of kindness or compassion. Note the responses and effects one little deed may produce. This activity will immerse you in real-life love and connection experiences and explain how their development could affect the surroundings. On this road, one naturally encounters opposition. Remember that this is the rich ground where the real transformation blossoms, even when you are uncomfortable. Respecting, even if it is challenging to distinguish your spiritual experience, can enable a deeper awakening. We end with this strong memory. What you do with this fact will determine your path from now on. The call was answered. You will respond. Right now, what decision will you take? This is the moment to act and turn this truth into its own spiritual basis. It is time to compile everything that was covered about its call as one of the selected ones at the finish of this contemplation. We discuss in this video the need of embracing its actual nature instead of fighting it. Though full of special reasons that transform lives, we know how lengthy and difficult a spiritual journey is. Recall that this awareness is just one step on an endless ladder of spiritual development you are meant to ascend. Now, I encourage you to a last meditation that will haunt your mind and heart. Now that you know the truth, what will you do to it? How you have chosen to go from this point will determine every following step of your spiritual path. Always keep in mind, decisions are power, hence your decision now could ignite stars in the sky of your life. Comment here to confirm your dedication. I accept my call. This is not just a simple exchange, but also a strong declaration of purpose, a spiritual seal resonating throughout the cosmos, thus enhancing its relationship with the divine. Blessed chosen, I send a little prayer for you. May God illuminate your path, fortify your spirit, and open your eyes to the hidden realities. Following the road meant for you should help you to discover clarity, strength, and direction. Welcome. The road does not stop here. This is just one of the basic insights on your path. In the following video, we will go even further into realities that promise to reorganize what we know about our spiritual life. Get ready to touch the center of the cosmos.